Welcome to Prodigy, inspiring the courage to act on personal goals.
We've all either had one or we're stuck in one now. It's something that has caused stress, anger, low self-esteem, regret, and even health problems. What's mind-boggling is that it's something we can quit at any moment. It's known as the dead-end job. It's that 9 to 5 or whatever schedule or shift that slowly drains the life out of us. So many of us have wasted years punching the clock on a job without ever pursuing a fulfilling career. We acknowledge that most of us have unconsciously fallen into this trap, and we like to help as many as possible break free from that dead-end, paycheck-to-paycheck job that offers no future. So, here are the 5 signs you need to terminate that job. Number 1, go to bed depressed, wake up angry. If you've ever had a job you hated or currently hate, then you probably experienced the weekend emotional roller coaster. If you don't know, count your blessings. But for those stalled in a dead-end job, the weekend emotional roller coaster is when you get off work feeling great and yelling, "Thank God it's Friday." Then you wake up the next morning still feeling wonderful during your Saturday morning getaway. This leads to you feeling rested and grateful from your spirit-filled Sunday morning, which unfortunately dwindles into a depression by Sunday night. Because you realize you have to wake up and drive back to that job the next morning. This emotional roller coaster also happens during the week. Feeling joy because you're getting off work yelling freedom. This leads to enjoying the rest of your day with family and friends. Then once again dwindling into a sunset-led depression because you have to go to bed and wake up and drive back to that job. Driving to a job we hate every day can cause us to lose sleep. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, job stress can be the cause of adjustment insomnia, which involves disturbed sleep or sleeplessness that may last for a few days or a few weeks. Other symptoms may include anxiety, worry, or tension. Are you beginning the day with no purpose? If you are, then you know that the only thing that lessens the pain is that sandwich on the way to work. And that walk from your car to the building makes you question every decision you've made since kindergarten. When you dread your job, your weeks consist of 5 grueling days with only 2 days of recovery. Your weekdays seem like 2 weeks, and your weekends seem like 1 day. If you don't escape, your life will become a continuous, monotonous cycle. Stop being naive. The job is never going to improve your life. It will only turn you into a 9 to 5 zombie. Number 2, same mess, different day. Same old mess, different day. If you're repeating the same daily task every day, it's probably a sign to terminate that job. Are you going to work completing monotonous duties day after day after day? These duties require no skill, no critical thinking, and leave you mindlessly repeating the same task. Along with repeated tasks, you'll be stuck with repeated conversations every day. You'll be bombarded with daily conversations consisting of complaining on the job, not wanting to be at the job, and complaining about each other. Micromanagers and dead-end jobs go hand in hand. With these managers, every meeting covers the same subjects, same expectations, same rules. These meetings leave employees with nothing new to aspire towards and no opportunities for advancement. Repeating the same task every day causes employee errors. This often occurs because you lose focus, which leads to repeated mistakes. What's worse is those mistakes give micromanagers the same issues to cover at every meeting, which sadly leads to the same takeaways from every meeting. Facing the same task day after day will also lead to reduced productivity. As we just mentioned, these daily tasks lead to less focus, which ultimately lead to reduced productivity. If you're currently losing focus and productivity at work, it's not your fault. It's hard to stay inspired without spontaneity, but it will be your fault if you choose to stay. These repeated daily tasks are generated by poor leadership, which is often created by the misleading message of quality over quantity. Number 3, no room for growth. Another sign that you should terminate that job is if you're spending numerous years in the same position. If you've been locked in for 10, 15, 20 years still doing the same job, more than likely that job has offered you no self-improvement, no new skills, and definitely nothing to add to your resume. Doing the same routine day after day is the equivalent to killing brain cells. If you're completing the same monotonous, mundane, creativity-killing work, then you'll forever be stuck in a mindset that requires no critical thinking or innovative thought process. Every job has an established culture. Some good, some not so good. There's nothing worse than getting sucked into an underachieving culture. Too much time at the same job will cause you to unconsciously pick up coworkers' bad habits. Before you know it, you'll develop the workplace shiftless attitude towards life. If there's no room for growth, you're just wasting your purpose. Some jobs were not meant to be permanent. They were meant to be temporary. So those first, second, or even third jobs are there to be a stepping stone towards your purpose. If you're working for a job where there is no lateral movement, your wages will eventually stall. You will never earn a fortune, let alone what you're really worth. Bosses at dead-end jobs love employees who grow complacent in their work while never complaining about their wages. The only raises these employees will enjoy is when their wages adjust with the cost of living increases, if that's anything to enjoy. Working years in the same position will cause you to lose pace in the cosmos. In other words, the world will leave you behind. While you're stuck in that dead-end job, people in other industries will enjoy benefits of technological advances, while all your knowledge and skills will become obsolete. Number 4, good job, horrible coworkers. It may be time to leave your good job if you have to work with horrible coworkers. They say that if you have a job that's difficult, at least get paid for it. But sometimes having a great title or a high salary isn't enough. The mental struggle of working with horrible coworkers day in and day out will ultimately devalue that high salary. People who have worked in a poor culture will tell you that bad coworkers can turn a dream job into an occupational nightmare. More than often, it doesn't take a number of bad coworkers to tell you that it's time to move on. It only takes one bad apple. Having to work with that one annoying employee can negatively outweigh a department full of great employees. Have you ever worked at a job where everyone was relieved because that one person didn't show up for one day? Well, one day isn't enough for your peace of mind. If you really love your job and you're fully committed to the company's success, then you probably will never reach that success if you're surrounded by employees who only show up for a paycheck. Employees who only do enough to get paid affect overall productivity and could lead to layoffs or termination. There is nothing more frustrating than trying to be professional around adult-age workers with high school mindsets. This often occurs in industries where employees of different generations work together. Young employees are sometimes known to goof around as much as they work, acting like high school students with a substitute teacher. This can cause serious employees to unconsciously adapt to their surroundings. One of the main indications that you should move on from your job is if your coworkers are causing you daily stress. If you're not driving to work thinking about enjoying your day, today might be the day to terminate that job. Number 5, you're smarter than who you work for. Let's be honest, if you're smarter than the person you work for, it's probably time to terminate that job. If you have a supervisor or boss who's never open to advice, or always sees things their way, then your career will eventually get stuck in a box. These so-called leaders make repeated mistakes and bad decisions. And even after ignoring the team's ideas and visions, they'll continue to either make excuses or blame the team for their leadership failures. We've all known supervisors whose words seldom match their actions. These types of fake leaders contradict themselves constantly. These supervisors create a culture of distrust and destroy company morale. In many fields, you're probably smarter than who you work for if your work performance is superior. This is not to say that if you excel at your job, your boss is less than you. But if you continuously complete your supervisor's tasks and assignments easily, or your boss is always surprised and impressed by the ease of your job performance, it's probably because you've outgrown the work. Now, we don't condone looking down on anyone. All of us have some growing to do. But if you are more mature than your supervisor or boss, it's safe to say that you are emotionally smarter than they are. We all know people who were handed their position through nepotism or lack of qualified applicants. Even worse, supervisors who were thrust into leadership positions with no leadership skills or training. If you're not aware that you're smarter than who you work for, others in the company may be giving you signs. If your coworkers give you more respect than the boss, there's a reason why they trust your opinion first. If other department leaders treat you as their equal, or even take the time to get to know you personally, it's usually because they see leadership traits in you that you do not see in yourself. The most important aspect of any job is happiness, and money is a huge factor. But if your job is messing with your well-being, it may be a sign to terminate that job.
Thank you for staying focused throughout this video. If you've been inspired, hit the subscribe button so we can provide you with more value and content.